Hi, I'm the mom from Just Being Us, and today we're going to start a series of paranormal stories that have happened to us in this house. And each week I'm going to tell a different story, and I'm going to tell them in the order that they happened. So the first story I'm going to start with, I'm going to call Meeting My Neighbor. And I'm not going to use her real name, I'm just going to refer to her as my neighbor. September of 2003, I was going through a divorce, or I had been through a divorce. And I moved in here with my son Wyatt, that you see in the other videos, and Katie, my daughter. At the time, I think Katie was maybe 9 or 10, and Wyatt was probably about 3, I think. And before we even moved in, I completely redid the whole house. It took us a while to move in, but we finally moved in September of 2003. One night, I was taking the last of the boxes out to the road, and as I started back up the driveway, my neighbor comes out, and she walks up to her side of the fence, and she introduces herself, and we carry on a little conversation, and then she says, "Is everything okay over there?" I said, "Yeah, as a matter of fact, we redid the house, you should come see it," and blah, 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 blah. So we said our goodbyes and everything. And when I told her to, that she should come over to see the house, she kind of hesitated a little bit, but I really didn't think anything of it at the time. Okay, so I think maybe the next night, I decided I was going to go take a bubble bath. So I left Katie and White in the living room to watch TV, and I think Katie was playing the piano. Yeah, well, I know she was. She was playing the piano. And I was in the bath, and I could hear her in there playing. Well, all of a sudden, she just stops. And the next thing I know, her and my son Wyatt are running down the hall, screaming at the top of their lungs. And Katie is hysterical, and she is so hysterical she can barely even get out what she was trying to tell me. But what she was saying was that she had seen something, and all she knew is that she saw something white, and she described it white with a red dot. Okay? So I, get out of the bath and go in there and look. I don't see anything. A few nights after that, my neighbor comes over, and she knocks on the door, and I open the door, invite her in. She kind of hesitated to come in, and but she did. She came in, and I could tell she was kind of tense and uptight a little bit. But I thought, well, maybe that's just her personality, So after a while, she started to kind of relax, and she told me that her daughter used to live here, and she moved out because there were things that would happen. They would hear footsteps in the hall and just different little things, and they moved out because of it. She also went on to tell me that years ago, a girl lived here that practiced witchcraft in her bedroom, which is now my dining room. And that there had, for years, all the windows in the house were boarded up from the inside. And I thought, wow, that's creepy, So, Katie was hearing all this, and I knew that she was getting ready to say something about what she saw, and I didn't want her to do it, so I just looked at her and went like this, because I wanted to hear what else my neighbor was going to say. So she also said that she had been over here to eat dinner one night with her daughter, and in my dining room, she pointed to the dining room, she said, "One night I was here and I saw a white something," she called it, a white something, and it had a big red circle in the middle of it. Now when she said that, Katie and I both just froze. We didn't tell her, we didn't say anything about what Katie and Wyatt had seen. We did not say a word about it. So I wanted to see what else. She said that when she saw that, she left, and she hasn't been back here since. So, you know, that kind of freaked us out a little bit. So after she left, I started going around to the windows. Excuse me. And sure enough, there were these little plastic brackets all along the inside of the window. I didn't see those when we were redoing the house. I don't know how I missed them, but you could tell that they had been there for years because they were yellow. And so a couple of nights, or it may have even been a week later, Katie and I were playing What If. For some reason, every time me and Katie would play this game, it would always be scary, the scary version, we called it. So we were standing at the bar in the kitchen, which was about 10 feet from the hall. Now our hall is probably about, 15 feet long, and it's very dark. And Katie and I both have always gotten this feeling in the hall that we just want to go like this or kind of hide or something in the hall. We always get that. We used to always get that feeling, and it's very hard to explain, but we both always did. Anyway, this hall, at the very end of the hall is her bedroom, which is the room that I'm in now. We were standing at the bar. Sorry. We were standing at the bar and we were playing What If, and I said, what if, and I'm like looking around trying to find something to say, and I glanced down the hall at her bedroom and I said, what if your bedroom door slammed? As soon as I said it, wham, her bedroom door slammed. Completely freaked us out. We were screaming, and I had to get everybody calmed down. Me and Katie and Wyatt all were screaming and scared to death. Anyway, that's the end of the first story. I know that it's not that scary. I have heard some of your stories on YouTube that are horrifying, and mine are not like that yet. But sometimes it's the little things that are creepy. But come back next week when I upload another story, because as the stories go on, they get darker and darker and darker. It just started out as little things, but I think they're very important to tell to begin with.